What's up with the squad? Back with another video. I seen it, thought I was going down. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it right here. I'm not even gonna lie. This is wild. I know most of y'all know this already, that Jasmine Crockett is trying to be, senator, in Texas. And me personally, I don't see it happening. I know a lot of everybody else don't see it, and I'm not here to knock anybody down. I just don't see it happening. I truly don't. Let's check it out.
The gloves have been off, and now I'm jumping into the ring. I'm asking for your support to be the next United States Senator from the greatest state of Texas. I'm running because I don't ever lose focus of the people and what we deserve. We deserve a government that is by the people and of the people, not one that's bought and paid for, not politicians who are self-serving and line their own pockets. Most of you know that I am a civil rights and criminal defense attorney, that I made a living arguing cases before juries and fighting for Texas who were harmed to receive justice. I have won cases and convinced juries in the deepest, reddest parts of this state. And I'm ready to make the case to the people of the great state of Texas. The gloves.
I'm gonna be real with y'all. I truly don't feel as if she's ready, just based off of the fakeness that she's. And I don't know where this came from. I ain't gonna say that it's like random, but I don't know. I don't really know where this came from. I truly don't know. Got it here. This JD Vance it literally says absolutely roasted Jasmine Crockett. And truly, he's not wrong. Check it out.
And Jasmine Crockett. Oh, Jasmine Crockett. The record speaks for itself. She wants to be a senator, though her street girl persona is about as real as her nails.
So you got JD Vance, speaking the truth on something, and Jasmine Crockett responded, to what JD Vance had to say. Not only responded, she definitely got heated, about, of course, of what he said. But I truly feel as if this is how it's a way that you carry yourself. It's a way that you carry yourself. I truly feel as if it's important. It's definitely important, to carry yourself in a correct way, especially you being in Congress. And the way that she's carried herself over the years is literally insane. The way that she talks, and it leads up to this, and she'll see for herself. She'll definitely see for herself, on why, the results, on, this run is like it is because of the way, and I truly, and again, this is not me bringing anybody down. It's just truly showing just how she is as a person. How she is as a person and what she has done. When it comes to her, speaking ghetto and being loud and the threats and inciting violence, horrible things. Check it out on Jasmine Crockett's response, y'all.
The fact that he said I have a quote-unquote street girl persona, I'm sorry, but anybody that you talk to knows my credentials. They know that I've gone to school. They know that I'm educated. I never tried to put on some random story about where I came from. But at the end of the day, I am who I am, and I am authentic. And that is actually what they are fearful of, is my authenticity, because it rings true with every single American, whether they're a Texan or not. It rings true that I am fighting for real everyday people. And instead of talking about policy, when you're talking about the record speaks for itself, baby, let's talk about your record. Because the only reason you're the vice president is because the current president tried to have his last president killed. Let's talk about qualifications. Let's talk about who has actually been fighting.
This is exactly what I'm talking about, y'all. This is exactly what I'm talking about. It's things like this. It's the things that comes out, and she wonders why. She wonders why right here. I'm telling y'all, this is obviously like some of these videos I like to watch with y'all, and that was my first. Like I didn't know it's the way she's carrying herself. Is a lot of times, it's obviously how she says things, but it's what she says too. It's what she says too. If y'all look at that the next presidential run and seeing the percentage on a lot of people are wanting JD Vance, so it speaks for itself. It definitely speaks for itself on that. That the people love JD Vance.
People way before she ever ran for office, whether it was in the courtroom or if it was in the streets, making sure those that were out there wanting to exercise their constitutional right to come together and protest injustices. I was representing pro bono people that were getting arrested as they were out in the streets. So listen, I don't have time for him and their games. They are scared and they should be scared. I need Texans to focus in. I need them to think about the fact that our 2 senators literally just voted against extending the Affordable Care Act tax subsidies that would help almost 4 million people that are on the marketplace in a state where we have 5 million that are completely uninsured. They basically are trying to put another 4 million people off of their insurance. And this is before we endure the cuts that are coming because of the big ugly bill where we know 17 million people in this country are going to lose their health care. Listen, I'm staying focused. I'm not going to be distracted. And when they can tell me about their policies,
I'm staying focused. I'm staying focused. How are you staying focused and you're responding to something? If you were staying focused, you would actually lock in. Stop trying to be this whole internet, I'm trying to be famous. I want to dance and I want to talk ghetto and I want to do that. That staying focused is being locked in, especially locked in, as in your district. She hasn't been locked in. And the people say it. The people literally say it, that she's not locked in. That she's not focused. I'm telling y'all, bro.
that are helping Texans, then we can have a conversation. Until then, take whatever shots you want to take at me, because I have been a black woman my entire life. I promise you, there are other people just like JD Vance who have tried to do the same racist tropes my entire life, and somehow I ascended and became a U.S. Congresswoman. It will not be different when I become a U.S. Senator, and we can have a conversation when I get to the Senate floor if he wants to talk.
Highly doubt it. And I don't want to, put anybody down when it comes down to, things like that. But I truly, highly doubt, just the way that, she carries herself and the things that she does. I truly don't see it happening. I truly don't. Why she said we can have a conversation when, I get to the Senate floor if he wants to talk. I don't feel as if, it's, I don't know. Me personally, I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think. But I don't think so. This just goes to show you right here. This is literally Jasmine Crockett on, her different accents or different personalities. Let's check it out.
And that is actually what they are fearful of, is my authenticity, because it rings true with every...
Told me that when I went down to Austin, now it looks like a little
different
bit.
Well,
they are crazy because they always talk about how Christian they is. Yeah, I don't know how many of them on that side are getting divorced because they getting caught up sleeping with.
My school hired the Cochran firm, and there was a lawyer who graduated from University of Houston who was assigned.
You not. We done picking cotton.
I want the American people to know that when you stand up to a bully, you win. Do not bend.
I'm going to be real with y'all. I truly feel as if Jasmine Crockett were to be herself and she throw away this whole, I want to be ghetto, I want to be famous, I want to be this, I want to be that. I feel like things will work out. And her actually doing her job, I feel like things will work out 10 times better. I truly feel like things will work out 10 times better if that was the case. It's not the case. People are starting to see who she is, obviously now. But I truly, I'm not seeing it right now. I'm sorry, I'm just not seeing it. You got to hear. And this guy, he spoke the truth. He definitely spoke the truth. Just listen to it right quick.
So Democratic Jasmine Crockett. If you don't know who Jasmine Crockett is, she's the ghetto bird of the Democratic Party. All right, she has an image to uphold, and her image is acting ghetto, because I'm gonna be the first to let you know is she is not ghetto at all. But she basically says that Republicans are threatened by her. I don't get it, man. I don't know what these young Democratic liberal women representative, I don't know what goes through their mind. Like, we're not thinking about you. We're not thinking about you at all. You ain't on our day-to-day mind. Like, I'm not going to bed thinking in my head, oh, that Jasmine Crockett, I'm nervous. But also, let this be a simple fact, people, that members of the Democratic Party think this shit is a joke. They don't want to represent nobody. They want to be content creators. They want to be famous. Like, why would you as a representative say that there's other certain type of people that are threatened by you? Nobody is thinking about you. But that's the thing. She wants people to think about her because she wants to be famous. They don't want to help nobody. They want to be famous.
Exactly. They want to be famous. And I keep on, letting individuals know that, especially Jasmine Crockett. She literally just did another video. I think she did a video in Illinois, about, she was dancing and doing, like, these are the things that are talked about a lot, and I truly don't get. And that's why a lot of times I love getting on here and I let people know, especially, times that I repost things on X. I need to get better, with posting on X, but times that I share things on X because people need to see, truly who these individuals are. I'm telling y'all. It's Ken Paxton saying there is no way Jasmine Crockett wins nomination for U.S. Senate. Let's check it out.
Here's what Trump won Texas by, 14 points. So Mamdani may work in New York, but will Jasmine Crockett work in a plus 14 Trump state?
No, Mamdani is driving people to Texas. New York is losing population to us, and people are voting with their feet. That's why the margins are getting better in Texas, because we have more people that care about the right things. That's why Trump had such a wide margin. We've held that state. Every single statewide office has been a Republican since 1994. I can guarantee you this. Jasmine Crockett is not going to win the nomination for U.S. Senate for Texas. There's no way.
Now, let me play devil's advocate for a moment. I agree with you. I think just looking at the data, she won't win. However, some people look at Jasmine Crockett and AOC and they say they have huge Name ID. They have these big followings. Young women follow them, something that the conservative movement needs to work on. You still think those tried and true conservative values and principles in your race would defeat Jasmine Crockett?
Look, she may be fine in Illinois if she went back to her home state or if she was in New York. But in Texas, look, I've been there since I was 18. And the values of Texas voters do not match what Jasmine Crockett is selling. So I see no chance for her. Now, she'll raise a lot of money. She'll draw a lot of attention. She will draw out certain voters, but the margin's going to be great against Jasmine Crockett.
And I truly feel like as I'm doing the videos, and seeing, different things, about Jasmine Crockett over the years, I start to see people turn away, especially, in the Democratic Party. I don't know how many people left the Democratic Party. And you see that a lot of these individuals, just like the individual I showed before, this in particular video with Ken Paxton, that it's showing that right there. That people are starting to notice how she is as a person, that she's fake, that she's putting on these fake accents, these different personalities that she has, and that she has to act ghetto, in front of a certain type of group of people, to have them engaged on what she's doing. It's things like that that's very important. I'm telling y'all. I'm definitely telling y'all. This is John Kennedy. On AOC, and Jasmine Crockett believes that cops are a bigger problem than criminals. It's stuff like this. You know what I mean? It's definitely stuff like this. Check it out.
To speak to the issues, again, that we're seeing surrounding crime, specifically President Trump deploying the National Guard in crime-ridden cities like Memphis, like Chicago, even in Washington, D.C. What are you guys seeing in the U.S. Senate surrounding this? Is this really as polarizing as people like Senator or Congresswoman Crockett have made it out to be?
Well, the Congresswoman, I think it would be fair to say, it is part of the loon wing of the Democratic Party. They are ferociously woke. She and Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez are two good examples. Exactly. They believe that cops are a bigger problem than criminals. They believe that if a cop has to shoot a criminal, it's automatically, in every case, the cop's fault. But if a criminal shoots a cop, it's the gun's fault. That's really how they think. They try to convince the American people that every cop in America gets up in the morning and strives to hurt people, to be a racist, to be a Nazi. I mean, American people don't believe that. That's not their experience. The truth is that most cops will leave you alone unless you do illegal stuff.
Exactly.
And the first...
And I keep on telling people not to cut off, I truly feel as if, and I've told people this, and I keep telling people this. If a cop stops you, just do what they say. I've literally grown up around cops my whole life. My dad's been a cop for 26 years, almost 27 years. I have uncles, I have an uncle that's actually, a detective. I have uncles that are police officers. His best friends, his friends are police officers. I've been around cops my whole life. And I will tell anybody that is very, very important. I was actually in a police academy for 4 months, for like 4 or 5 months. And again, I got to give y'all a story time about that on why I left the police academy. True, and it's, in particular, police academy, but people need to just follow simple directions, and be respectful. Like I keep saying, there are times that you will come across, and every person, and I just like people say, there's cops that are bad, and don't care. There are cops that are good, but the same thing, there are people that are very nice, respectful. There are people that aren't. So it's things like that you have to, think about. Be respectful, regardless if somebody is being, mean, or somebody is being this way or being that way. Be respectful, just be respectful, and things go better, and just like Senator John Kennedy just said, it's one of those things, only getting at you if you're doing something illegal.
The first responsibility of government, Riley, you know this, is to protect people and their property. And so when my Democratic colleagues, the loon wing of their party, starts talking all this rubbish, that's, there's nothing you can do to convince them. That's, it's just Operation Let Them Speak. I have no doubt that the American people look at this kind of rhetoric and go, what planet did she just parachute in from, for God's sakes?
Telling y'all, one thing about it is that I truly feel as if people are not going to look at Jasmine Crockett as, okay, this individual is, the right person for this job. They're not. I truly, I don't think. I feel like people are literally looking a different way, when it comes down, to Jasmine Crockett, and what she has to offer. I truly do. That's just how I feel. You have it right here. It says Jasmine Crockett is reportedly furious. And it goes to show you, this is a big part. Furious that neither Obama nor Kamala Harris, Biden, any of these individuals have endorsed her Texas U.S. Senate Democrat primary bid. It says Crockett has expressed anger, frustration, and a sense of betrayal that she did 14 campaign stops for Kamala in 2024, but now Kamala is slow or unwilling to return the favor. Obama has repeatedly praised Crockett's white male opponent, James Tellerico, and has yet to acknowledge Crockett's interest into the race. So, you constantly see that, these individuals, they truly aren't, pretty much caring, and again, she's made this bed. She definitely made this bed on, how she's acting and what she's done. And, that's just what it is. You truly see that. You see that out of a person. She really has nothing to offer. How are you going to, run, and want to, be a senator, and you need to have your district, on top of where it was supposed to be. You had individuals complaining. So, I mean, just something to think about. Make sure you hit the like button. Let me know y'all feel about this. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Definitely appreciate y'all. Much love, everybody. Catch y'all next one.